virtual people? Welcome to episode 66 of VCR Redux, where we take your favorite franchises out of the analog era and bring them back to 2022. I'm your host, pop culture punk Chris Stiles, joined as always by my co-host with the most, film professor Ian Clink.
How you doing, everybody?
And we have two radical guests on the show tonight. First up, of course, our own honorary third host from Rick Barth and the Line. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine. Mickey Torres on the show.
What's up, everyone?
And rounding out this righteous crew, back for his second trip into VCR land, the host of B-Movie Beatdown. He's an actor and author, and he's here to drop some gospel. Mike Yospile's on the show.
Hey!
Thank you, everyone. Look for me in Clerks 3.
Thank you so much for coming back. We are here today to fire up the Pork Chop Express and honor one of the greatest actor-director pairs of all time, and the great John Carpenter and the incomparable Kurt Russell. Because what this world needs is Big Trouble in Little China 2, Kung Fu Russell. But before we start shooting lightning out of our ass, we need to talk about how Big Trouble in Little China came into our lives and what we love about it. Which means it's also time for you guys watching at home to do just the same. How did you discover this movie? We talking VHS, laser, theater, cables? Hit us up in the live chat and let us know. So, Mike, how did you first watch Big Trouble in Little China? Excuse me.
It either was on TNT when TNT would air action movies, or when it was TBS, was Turner Broadcasting Station, one of those channels at night. It was something that it aired right after one of those Brian Bosworth movies, so I know it had to be one of those channels. And
Can't
I just
go wrong with a Brian Bosworth movie.
That or his mullet. Mullet does its own stunts apparently still.
Are you talking about Stone Cold Brian Bosworth?
Yeah.
Now that's a movie we should be talking about, not this turd. Like, Stone Cold is everything.
Stone Cold is great. This is not a turd, but I love your passion nonetheless, sir. Mac Daddy Mickey Torres, it's been a while. We miss you on the show. Tell us about how this movie came into your life.
This was HBO, and I remember vividly how I came across this movie, just where I came across this movie. I came across this movie late to the scene where Thunder was blowing up, like his whole face was blowing up.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. So anyway, I just remember seeing that as a kid.
It's only been almost 35 years. I mean, hey.
Yeah. And I remember seeing that. I was like, was he a Garbage Pail Kid? I was like, what is this? And then then I had to find out the title of the movie. Then when I found out the title, I'm like, I gotta watch this. And then I think it might have run again right afterwards or something, or a couple movies later. I don't remember, but then I watched the whole thing, and I love this movie. And like I said, I just watched this movie just like a few minutes ago once again, and it still holds up.
I am fresh off a rewatch as well, and I got to largely agree. Ian, though, I feel like is in the camp of disagree. So I want to hear the story of how this movie came into young Ian's life.
Here it is. All right. First off, it is not the worst movie out there. All right. I am not going to
got that right.
I'm not going to be in team. This is the worst movie ever. Right. I'm not going to do that. I will say this. That was a VHS cover that if you went on the journey like we all did, and you hauled on down the road to your local ma and pa video store that they used to sell in gas stations, mind you, just saying. All right. But if you saw that VHS cover, and I believe, is it a Drew
I think it is. Yeah. Drew Struzan.
I mean, Drew Struzan, amazing poster, right? That's one where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to watch that someday. My mom and dad would never rent it. And so I'll be honest, I didn't see this until college.
Wow.
And here's why. I went on a John Carpenter binge where I decided I was going to buy every John Carpenter movie on DVD.
Okay.
So I got all.
Not a bad choice.
Exactly. Oh, I love John Carpenter, one of my favorite directors. But I got all of them.
Did you get Memoirs of an Invisible Man?
No, they didn't have that on DVD, but I had the VHS.
Ooh, points.
So, but I think Shout just brought out Memoirs of Invisible Man.
Point winner.
I know, right? So anyway, ended up, getting this as part of the John Carpenter. You have to. I mean, if you're gonna, and I watched it, I just didn't get it. And I know it sounds stupid, but I didn't get the John Wayne, Kurt Russell thing. I didn't get it. However, hold on, time out, Mickey. You just stop. All right, time out. All right, I rewatched it today, and I get it. And I acknowledge what he is doing, and I think it is genius. All right, he is taking the hero-ness of John Wayne and turning it upside down as an anti-hero approach. Genius.
I didn't get it then.
I know I didn't get it
then.
Totally,
but
didn't
I got
get
it
that.
now. As far as the John Wayne correlation, like as a kid, I was just like, oh, whatever. I don't know how. He was talking weird.
Yeah,
I acknowledge the fact that he was talking weird, but I thought that was like a trucker accent. Like I thought that was a trucker voice. Like
which kind of is. It kind of is. I mean, in a weird way. But yeah, I didn't get it. I was just like, what? You're not John Wayne. Like what? And I was a huge Western fan, so I was like almost insulted.
I just look at it as like Jack Burton is like Buckaroo Banzai. Where he's like a rock star, he's like a shock jock and John Wayne and a trucker and like a action hero kick-ass guy. Like he's just one of these guys that's like, this is all in some other universe where like people kick ass as much as this and have like mullets as strong as Kurt Russell's. But I mean,
and yet you say that, and I wonder, do you all feel that? I mean, have we all seen Buckaroo?
Yeah.
I've seen. I'm sure Mike's seen it. Yeah,
I saw it after this. So
see, what's funny is Buckaroo Banzai like goes for it, right? I mean, that's a movie where literally he throws the kitchen sink in your face.
Right.
It's almost like Big Trouble is halfway there.
It's got the B movie feel. It totally has a B movie feel.
And
from an A-level director.
Yeah,
with A-level effects.
And that's what I'm saying. I totally get now. He's trying to do the kung fu movies. He's trying to do the
there's a lot of Enter the Dragon influence for sure.
Yeah, and it's like Ghost Story, the Chinese Ghost Story movies. Yeah. Like a lot of that was coming into it.
This has some Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon effects.
It does.
Sure.
Before.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Way ahead of its time in a lot of regards. A lot of that was lost on 7-year-old me when I first watched it, but I'll get to that in just a sec. I do want to touch on the live chat before I get into my discovery of this film. So first thing I see in the live chat, Jesus Solis says, okay, so what is going on here? I'm a huge fan of Big Trouble in Little China. There's a sequel. So I'm guessing it's your first time on the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. What we do is we take your favorite franchises out of the analog era and bring them back to today. So basically on this show, we're going to spend about a half an hour talking about why we love, or in Ian's case, misunderstand certain movies. And then the second half hour, we pitch sequels for it. So again, and a lot of this is talking with the live chat and hearing from all of you, letting you guys tell us, did you see this in theaters? Did you see it on Laserdisc, VHS, cable? What? And
don't you leave. I know that you just heard that and you're like, I didn't sign up for this. You stay right there.
There is a rumor of The Rock doing a sequel to this movie. I don't know if it's a sequel, straight up sequel, or a remake, but there are talks of The Rock.
Breaker. I just heard a wet fart in the air.
I'll tell you what.
Like Kurt Russell, what I just heard.
I know we don't usually pitch until the second half hour, but Kurt Russell is and will always be the centerpiece of this franchise to me. I don't think, the man could be 100 years old and he's still kick ass enough. It's like Sam Elliott. He's just like one of those guys that's just going to like kick ass off into the sunset, He
could totally come back as Jack Burton.
No, that's okay. We're getting rid of, a history of Sam Elliott by putting Jake Gyllenhaal in a Roadhouse remake.
Yeah,
Lord.
Don't get me started.
Good Lord,
don't get me started on that one. And he's a UFC fighter.
Dude. If you want to, Ian's favorite thing is to fucking derail the show, and I love it about him. But man, I can't believe what they're gonna do to Roadhouse. That's insane. That's insanity.
I can. It's called Roadkill.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's
right.
All
right. That's
shots
a good way.
Fired like Jack Burton with an Uzi, folks.
A good way for me to get back into the chat. I also see Alex Bonafonte, Gold's Code in there. Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. Gold's Code says this is the best written script ever. It makes Jack Burton the hero look and feel like the sidekick and the smart hero.
About that.
Yeah.
Jack Burton doesn't know anything, just like Ian the Fool, even the fog.
What?
So opinions are flying hard in the live chat. But again, thank you everyone for tuning in.
I'm not even
I don't even know what to say to that
either.
Like, but I think it's a good cue for I think it's a good cue for me to talk about how I discovered this movie. I was 7 years old. One mystical, magical night, I went to Top Video with my pop. It's a little mom and pop video store in Barrington, Illinois.
Top Video?
Top Video with 2 P's. It was Top Video.
Awesome.
It was like state of the art. This place. They had a laserdisc room in the back with a projector where they would try and like get dads to like buy projectors and laserdisc, and my dad would just go back there and watch James Bond movies, and I would be at the video store for 90 minutes and in heaven. It was great. And I would like select my movie and then just scan the aisles. And my dad's like, look, I'm getting this movie, also Big Trouble in Little China, so you can watch it because you're going to love this. Like, take this to your room and enjoy it. I was like, okay, sweet. I'm 7 years old. I pop this thing in. I'm like, all right, Kurt Russell kicks ass. I love this. I'm feeling this. This is like kind of like ninja adjacent. There's like lightning. And what the fuck is that werewolf thing? That werewolf thing is like the never-ending story creature for me. That thing scared the fucking shit out of me, and the fact that they ended the movie with that thing made me like afraid to rewatch it for a while. I was like, damn, that movie was awesome, but like I was scared shitless the whole time. And then I probably didn't rewatch it again until I was like, I don't know, 11 or 12, like a few years later.
It's a long stretch between.
A long stretch, but it's one I revisit every couple of years, and I always love. And who doesn't love Carpenter and Russell? I mean, right out of the gate, you have this just wonderful chemistry that, like, to me, rivals De Niro and Scorsese. It just they didn't do as many movies together.
These guys, Russell and Carpenter are kind of like Johnny Depp and Tim Burton. Or Uma Thurman and Tarantino. Like I just feel like, I obviously, like you said, they didn't do a lot of movies together, but they did enough, to kind of like get that mojo. And like it's hard to not think about Carpenter movies without thinking Kurt Russell.
Yeah, and I think there's probably 2 kinds of like Carpenter Russell fans. I mean, when it comes down to their masterpiece, I don't think a lot of people pick the Elvis movie as that being like their crowning achievement together. It's going to come down to this or the thing.
Good miniseries though.
It's great. Yeah. I loved it as a kid.
I loved it too.
Yeah. I wish I had it on DVD, but I think it's somewhat out of print and expensive on the internet.
It's very out of print and everything, but I might have an extra copy. If I have one, I'll lend it to you.
Oh yeah, I'd gladly rip that and send it back in pristine condition. But
like
along with a digital copy for yourself.
Like this movie ripped a big one at the box office.
Well, here's the story, right? There was another movie coming out around the same time called The Golden Child with Eddie Murphy, and this film
very similar.
Very similar, and actually some of the same actors. Victor Wong is in both movies. The great Victor Wong.
Yep, exactly.
And he's brilliant in both. And he's the best actor in each film, which is amazing too. Because I mean, that dude can just spin up a web full of bullshit into gold. I mean, that guy is a writer's dream. You could write any fucking series of syllables, and that guy's gonna make it poetic. But so they rushed this movie to get it out to make sure they beat The Golden Child. And it was like the Lambada movies when Canon Films broke up. They both had 2 Lambada movies. They were racing to get out. Oh, whoever comes out first is going to win. Whoever comes out first is going to win. And it was Breaking and Beat Street. Similar thing. They said, oh, if we can just get Breaking out before Beat Street, we're going to win. And that almost always works. And it pretty much worked in this time, too. I don't think Big Trouble was like a mega hit, but it definitely was a hit, and it definitely outperformed The Golden Child. As a kid, I loved The Golden Child. It was, I mean, Eddie, we had a steady Eddie diet in my house. Like, we watched Coming to America, Trading Places, Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, 48 Hours, like a lot,
that one doesn't hold
heavy
up
rotation
now.
movies.
No,
The Golden Child.
I love Golden Child.
It was great.
I still love Golden Child.
Do you really?
I still love it too. I do love it, but like there's certain things about it that's like, okay, Eddie maybe kind of phones it in on this one. Like, he doesn't bring like the all-time classic moments like you've come to expect and like Coming to America and Trading Places and Beverly Hills Cop. Like, he's great. He's still very good in Golden Child, but it's not, it's funny. I was talking to my roommate about this today, and he said, well, The Golden Child has the lackluster ending. And this movie, Big Trouble in Little China, has this great, gigantic ending. And I'm like, well, that's definitely a fair point of comparison. I think Carpenter does third acts better than what the standard was. He's like, I'm like, well, Eddie Murphy fights a demon. He's like, he fights a demon for like 3.5 seconds. And I think about it, and all of Eddie Murphy's movies end that way. He fights the final bad guy for about 3.5 seconds, whether it's Victor Maitland or it's the Iceman in another 48 hours, or it's whoever it is. It's like 2.5 seconds, boom, they're dead. Okay.
Because they're reminded, the directors are reminded, and the writers directed it, reminded at the end, like, wait a minute, this is a movie featuring Eddie Murphy. Fuck the bad guy. Show Eddie Murphy.
Like, what are we gonna have Eddie Murphy do? Yeah, Bruce Lee fights at the end of the movie. What are we gonna do? It's he's a cop.
I mean, I will take I'll take The Golden Child over this. But I love this movie. But I will take Golden Child because I love Eddie so much.
As a little kid, I would have agreed. Right now, it's like I love them both, and I do think at a certain point it becomes pointless to compare just because they came out near in time to each other. Like they are very different movies to me. I don't like. Yeah, I couldn't even really compare if I wanted to. I love them both, so I'm thankful they both exist. Like, what a great time where that was the biggest problem, was these two great movies that were kind of similar in the same year.
Nobody cares about the Cold War getting into the fusion era and all that stuff. We had The Golden Child and Big Trouble Little China. Everything was good.
Everything was great. Yeah, right. I'm telling you, we had it all. We had VHS.
There was definitely peace. There was definitely peace.
We had Nintendo and Sega Master System. We had choices. And
I want the knife and this wall to come down.
But I get what you're saying, Ian, is that like this movie has been hard. It took a long time for me to like sort of put my thumb on too. Like, why am I drawn to this movie? Like, what is like, what is even happening in this movie? I feel like Jack Burton when I watch it, like, hold on a second here. It hits the ground running so fast.
To me, oh, go ahead, Mickey.
It's such like a sci-fi, horror, comedy, action movie. It's got everything.
It's a mixture of every little genre in the way.
And I think it's Carpenter's kind of love letter, like you were saying, to B movies. Like, he's like, look, let's do schlock, but
this could be a canon film.
Kick ass, Yeah, it could be a canon film, and like I thought about that too. Like, man, you could have put like Dudikoff in this,
And I had this conversation with you off air, Chris, where I thought Showdown in Little Tokyo was a sequel to this. I was like, Showdown. Man,
that's right. Yeah.
Showdown in Little Tokyo sequel to this.
I'll tell you what, Dolph. I wouldn't have minded having Dolph in this.
Give me a Dolph and Brendan Lee. And
the franchise that we could have got would have been fucking outstanding. I mean, there's 100 different ways.
You put those two together. You put those two movies together, you have a perfect movie.
Now I will say this though: you don't
Big Trouble and Little Showdown in Chinatown.
You don't get this movie if Carpenter hadn't hit gold with Starman, though. This was his. All right, you made us.
Did he hit gold with Starman? I thought Starman was like moderate.
No, Starman was a hit. Oh, critics. Really? Starman was
only the little old ladies.
Hey, it worked though. They went to the theater. All right, calm it down. But Starman basically got Carpenter like, here's you get to do what you want card, because he had messed up with.
You don't think Halloween did that?
No, because here's the problem: The Thing. You're forgetting that The Thing was this huge box office bomb, and Carpenter got fired from all these movies. Like, he got fired from Firestarter, and then he did Christine, which gave him kind of credit back in the street. And then he goes, I need to do something not horror. I need to do something that's, going to get me credit with the critics. And he did Starman. And so, honestly, I believe you don't have Big Trouble in Little China unless Carpenter had done that.
Wow. It's funny, of all of fucking Carpenter's films, Starman is the one I always forget about. Like, that's the one I don't even like think of.
That's because you're a communist, Chris. Like, I don't know.
I know of the movie, and I just don't think of it as a Carpenter movie. I don't know why.
Starman falls into the category that I always go by. I don't watch anything with Star in the frickin' title. No Star Wars, no Starman. I'm like, no, I ain't watching it.
No Wish Upon a Star. What about Rock Star with Mark Wahlberg?
about
I know you fucking
That's
watched that movie.
that's different.
What
Star
about
comes after.
What about Star 80? You son of a. You know,
Ooh,
like.
Oh yeah,
I
the
do
great
like Star 80. I do like
All
that.
right.
You got me.
Oh,
You got
yeah.
me. You got me.
Pew, 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 pew. Uzi.
There's always an exception. Always a fucking exception to the rule. One thing I got to talk about with this movie, first of all, and Mike sent me the most amazing thing today, that I'm listening to this movie and I'm listening to the ending credit music when I'm watching the movie today.
Oh,
and I'm hearing this like Big Trouble in Little China, and I'm like, man, how did I not know there was a title track to this before? Like, what the hell planet have I been living on? Then at the same time, literally right then, Mike sends me a link to the music video of it. And says, have you ever seen this? Right as I see the last credit roll, Big Trouble in Little China, performed by John Carpenter, or written by John Carpenter, performed by the Coupe de Villes. And I'm like, oh man, I guess he wrote this for some pop group and like whatever this is. And then I realized, oh my God, here's the music video, and it's John Carpenter, Nick Castle, and Tommy Lee Wallace, like three of my favorite dudes ever. But man, do they all have egg on their face in this one. They are in like an editing room with like some chroma key effects, and it is like, it rivals that Dancing on the Streets video. It is amazing.
We built this city on rock and roll look like crap. To me, that's pure 80s at its finest. That video John Carpenter did.
Such great cheese, and like that gets me back into a place of realizing that like this was the 80s. This was 86. There was like, you know, the film was shot on cocaine. Like it was not even shot on film, you know. It's just what a time to be alive. And I gotta say, I think this film probably has the best lightning effects I've ever seen in a movie.
Oh yeah.
And not that there isn't great lightning effects in other movies of the time. I know it was all hand animated back then, but fuck me.
And who did the monsters?
So good.
Richard Edlund.
Yeah, because
Edlund. Okay.
Well, Edlund did the visual effects. Richard Edlund,
right?
Which I will tell you leads into my issue with this movie. All right, and I'll be flat out honest. I'm very biased about this. It's like Carpenter took everything good about Ghostbusters and he's like, I like Ghostbusters. Let's do Ghostbusters. And here's why. He got Richard Edlund, who did all those effects, who did the lightning and the proton pack effects and all that stuff, right? I mean, very similar, new technology. But you might not get this though. The guy that's in Tremors,
Michael Gross.
What's his name?
Victor Wong.
Yeah, Victor Wong. Victor Wong's house, his establishment. If you notice, it looks very familiar. It's the interior firehouse that they shot the interior stuff of Ghostbusters in. So literally, if you see when he goes back to get stuff, that's that's Peter Venkman's office.
Oh shit!
The entryway. Yeah, I mean, like, so it's like Carpenter is like, just give me everything Ghostbusters, and let's put it in this movie.
Did he do that, or did he just like, he just gave the guy the keys and said like, just do what do whatever you want to do? And
well, I mean, I don't know if he did or not.
And I don't want to say he was lazy, but maybe he just went back on like, I know this works. I know this looks good.
Yeah. I just think it's hilarious. I'm sitting there like I'm watching. I'm like, that looks like Peter Venkman's office.
But who did the creatures? Like the eyeball, that was cool. The eye, like all the
was
effects,
ILM?
All the effects there.
I don't know, but I'll tell you what.
That does have my favorite moment though, when the eyeball creature gets stabbed and he just goes, oh.
Yeah.
I still to this day, I love the fucking werewolf thing, whatever that thing is.
The monster, like the gorilla.
But
monster,
I will say,
whatever.
it looks like.
Bebop.
Remember in
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2?
Yes.
It does look like Bebop.
It looks like was it Toka or Razor? I think it was Toka.
Toka, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like fucking Toka. Like an inbred version of Toka. Like Toka's not right. Like,
it does.
Something like Toka's missing a couple of chromosomes or something. But I still love it, and it's amazing to me the shit that terrified you as a kid. It was like this and the Thriller video were like some of the scariest things I'd ever seen. Those things that haunted your dreams, and you're just too young to see them. But
yeah,
do you guys have like a favorite scene or a favorite line or a favorite moment? Favorite part?
I mean the Jack Burton lines. I love like Jack Burton like giving like just his philosophies on life and stuff like that. But one of my favorite Jack Burton lines, or one of my favorite scenes, is when like his supposedly sidekick, but really is like at a lot of points the star of the movie, Wang or whatever his name is. When he goes, oh, like he's knocking on the door. He's like, it's hollow. He's like, it's hollow. Fuck it, and he cuts the door or whatever like that. I just like this the way he just delivers that line, like hollow. Fuck it, and he cuts it. I just love that scene.
I think my favorite, I'll say effect, besides the eyeball thing, that's just funny. But the it's when how is it, James Wong? Is that his name? The villain?
Hong.
James Hong.
James Hong.
James Hong. I'm sorry, James Hong. When that his face lights up, that effect with the light, his whole body as the old man, his whole face lights up, and that is just a cool effect. But I think my favorite, again, watching it today, a moment that keeps sticking in my head, is when, the hero moment where Jack Burton is supposed to shoot at everybody, and he shoots the gun up, and the wall falls.
He knocks himself out.
He knocks himself out, and that was the moment I realized what Carpenter was doing. Now, I was like, oh, now I get it. Like, all these years later, now I get it.
Oh, definitely.
That was a moment.
Yeah, I like that. I like the scene where they come into the alleyway, and you get like the two rival martial arts gangs or whatever that. And
the Die Hard guy. Yeah. And the Die Hard guy.
Albert Leong. Oh, great Albert Leong.
And they're literally sitting in that truck the whole time. They're sitting in that truck the whole time, and like the Genghis Khan guy comes out and whatever like that, and they're looking at him, and like they're not doing anything about like, wait, there's some guys in this truck here. Let's like kill him real quick or whatever. Like, they're just letting him, like, all right, you got free tickets to the show.
I think for me, my favorite part, and I think I maybe decide this rewatching it today, honestly, but the ultimate Han Solo ending for Jack Burton, at the end, where he like basically rejects her twice after like sweating her the whole movie, Kim Cattrall.
Yeah.
But then it's just like, wait, you're not even gonna kiss her goodbye? Like, nope. Like, he might as well just been like, fuck off.
I'm sitting there going like, dude, really?
It's Kim Cattrall, so like,
yeah,
man, the ultimate willpower, but
severe willpower.
He's just like, nope.
But that's what makes it even more awesome. It's like, wow, only Kurt Russell could do that.
And she was a lawyer.
You know how long my mother wanted me to be with a lawyer.
And what a great mullet. Can we just acknowledge this?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I'm not for a mullet, and I think mullets need to go away forever, and all this new surge of mullets is disturbing, but
no, it's not. It's great.
It's like that mullet, and I think, Chris, you did the best mashup ever, because you had not only his mullet in there, but you had Dolph Lundgren's from Master of the Universe. Those are the two best mullets, I think.
And let's not forget Stallone in Rambo 3. It is the most mullety of all the Rambo films. It's more mullety than Riggs ever got. Patrick Swayze, he's on like the mullets of America, but not mullets of the universe. Mullets of the universe is fucking Kurt, Stallone, and Lundgren. Means those mullets can go to space and kick ass. Like, fucking Stamos and like, Mel Gibson had like the intercontinental mullet,
Russell still keeps his alive.
He really still has a mullet kind of to this day.
He still keeps it alive.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of like consolation prize mullets out there. The 80s was just full of great mullets,
You need like a Mount actors mullets, like,
You really do. And that his would definitely be up there. I mean, that is a mullet.
Definitely.
It's like buzzed up front. Back. I mean, that was like
fucking Van Damme had some solid mullets back in the day too. Let's not forget that like early mid 90s run where
the Time Cop mullet.
Yeah, like Cocaine Cable looking guy, you know, and in A-list films, it was awesome. Time Cop and like Hard Target and like all that shit. That was like a Billy Ray Cyrus mullet.
His mullet in Hard Target, that is like wet and like moist. That
Dude,
is a
it should be illegal. It is
like,
so potent. Like just sitting near that mullet can impregnate you.
I know what you're thinking, that, you know, for you who tuned in for the first time. Yeah, we're talking about the mullets, and that's okay. That's why you came here, all right? And I know you're still sticking with us. All right? It's going to happen. Just relax, all right? But
all right, so we are in the half hour point. Do we have pitches? And that goes for everyone in the audience as well. If you know, and
pitch this movie out of here.
Yeah, how do you want this movie to return? How do you not want it to return? As always, start your comment with the word pitch, and it'll help me see it because I can be blind. Oh, we already have our first pitch. Boom, Gold's code right on the nose. Pitch: Jack Burton takes over the Eggshen bus tour, and that's the movie. Watching Jack Burton try and run a tour business, but everyone has a cameo. Eddie Wang, Ali Yong, everyone. Well, I've definitely heard worse.
Did you just make Burton and the Bandit? Like, is that what he literally just proposed?
Sounds like that may have been how it starts. I don't know. It's not a bad point of entry, I will say.
I feel like you need to pick up where you left off. You still had that fucking
beast on the back
where beast or whatever you want to call it.
Beast.
So Jack Burton stops at a gas station or whatever like that. The fucking beast comes out. Maybe they friend each other. Then you got anywhere but loose or whatever like that kind of thing where he's like, the beast.
Any which way but loose.
Anyway, yeah, any which way but loose.
Why you want him to have a freaking monkey next to him like BJ and the beast bear? Like what the hell, man?
The beast is sitting next to him, and then all of a sudden the beast turns to him and learns how to speak. He's like, Gracie. And then he has to go back and go get Gracie because now he's like, oh, I got you.
This man so much because I want
and then
to see
out of nowhere, the Mortal Kombat guys come out of the sky again, and you got like that. Remember, this guy was trying to sacrifice broads for Chow Pin or whatever like that. So Chow Pin comes out of the blue. So now Burton's got to fight Chow Pin, and he's got to get Wong, and he's got Gracie, and the beast is by his side because that's his new sidekick, homie. This is gold.
I have to admit, I had a different
slow
approach.
Clap for you, sir.
I love that, but I will say this: my version was I do want it today. Like I want Kurt Russell today. I want Jack Burton after all of these years, still in the truck driving business.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So you have to have the scene where he basically 10 years back or whatever the case may be, however many years, whatever like that. So you see the beast coming out, whatever like that, at the gas station. And the beast is going to attack him, you think, and he's like, hold on, big guy. And this is where we get the friendship going. And then you fast forward to today, 2022, and the fucking beast is like, yo, what about that Gracie chick, man? Let's go back and get her.
What do you want? Voiced by Michael Pena?
I was gonna say, is it like freaking? It's got to be like Kevin Hart.
That Gracie chick was crazy, stupid fly.
Like, yo, bro. You can't be riding around with the beast all this time. Beast has to get some too. So you go get some Gracie and go find me some beast.
It's voiced by Tracy Morgan. Like, get out of here.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Jesus be Christ. Awesome. I love it. How the more often
I will say this: the only thing I wanted, I usually do is I know what I don't want. All right.
Okay. Yeah, that's a great way to start.
What I don't want
is a choice.
What I don't want is it to be like the same story. Like I want like an Indiana Jones. Like I want a new adventure of Jack.
Right.
Bird. So
yeah, me too.
Whatever happened, what I want though is a serious plot. Getty Watanabe, right? Or one of these great, Asian actors to be in this. I think Getty Watanabe would be an amazing villain.
Well, make him Chow Pin or whatever that guy's name is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like have him as the villain now, and he's having to do something else. What that is, I don't know. It doesn't have to deal with him becoming like flesh and blood and all that stuff. I mean, that was the other movie. Like, this is a brand new adventure, but you mix that seriousness against the current of Jack Burton, just let Kurt Russell go. Like, this is like, just set it up to let him have fun, you know. And he's done it before. Let's be honest. You remade, you know, Escape from New York with Escape from LA, which I love. Escape from LA. I like that actually better than Escape from New York. I know, I said it. It's there. It's forever on YouTube.
How did I forget about that when I'm talking about their fucking great pairings too? And I forgot to mention Escape from New York in the opening. Yeah. Good Lord. Exactly. What is wrong with me? And Escape from LA. Good Lord.
You're also a terrible human.
You also have to get the fact that, you know, like they're in, like, you know, this child pin comes and then suddenly transports them to Tokyo, and fucking Dolph Lundgren's there because it's Showdown in Little Tokyo.
All right, now the crossing over. I'm
Big
down
Trouble
for.
in Little Tokyo. Big Trouble in Little Tokyo. I'm game for that.
You gotta get it. You gotta get it. So you had Escape from New York, Escape from LA. You have Big Trouble Little China, Big Trouble Little Tokyo.
But I'll raise you one more on this. What if there was only one person that could help them all win this fucking battle? And it was someone who was formerly the chosen one, the golden child.
Yep.
And Eddie Murphy. Chandler Gerald has to come in. And yes, Charles Dance is coming back too.
Now you lost me. I'm out.
Charles Dance. Why couldn't we have Big Trouble and Little Golden Child showdown in
Big
Tokyo?
Trouble and Little Golden Child. Good God.
Well,
it's the worst title ever.
That title wouldn't work because the Golden Child was a little kid. So,
but the Golden Child is now a man. He's the Golden Man.
Big Trouble and the Golden Man.
Yeah.
Big Trouble and the Golden Man. No,
I think Chris Hansen's gonna ruin this podcast in a second.
Oh my God.
Chris, do you have a seat on this chair over here?
Oh my God. Okay. So I love what you did with the Werebeast and Kurt Russell becoming like buddies, right?
Yeah,
like
that's genius. That's
genius. So we got to build out the crew, right? We're gonna have Dolph Lundgren in there. We're gonna make it a very mulleted experience. But I'm telling you, we need to spice this up. We need someone who's funny. And you know, the John Wayne Kurt Russell is funny. And the you know, the Werebeast and all that stuff, but I'm telling you, we need Eddie to bring it home.
The Werebeast can be voiced by a comedian, like, you know, like Ian said, Tracy Morgan or something like that. You know, that'd be the funny part.
Well, God damn it! Now you're gonna make me do a Golden Child 2 VCR Redux just so we can give that film some respect. Now,
honestly though, like it actually, you know, okay, hear me out on this one. This is a stretch, all right. So I'm already saying it, but if you know John Carpenter history, you know he loves Howard Hawks, right? Howard Hawks did Rio Bravo, but Howard Hawks is famous for redoing his movies, which is actually why they remade Escape from LA. And, you know, like it literally is a remake of Escape from New York, right? Mm-hmm. So what's interesting in those movies is you have John Wayne's always with Walter Brennan. You know, the old actor, you know, you know, like he kind of talks like that. You got to have an old guy that Jack Burton deals with as a comedian in here. All right. So throw in some names here.
Well, and I have one. Is the dude Egg still alive?
I don't know.
The actor that played Egg or whatever that the Chinese.
No, he's dead. He passed.
Yeah.
Victor Wong passed away, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Now I will say this though. This could be interesting, and he's made a comeback on the internet lately. But imagine Jack Burton with Leslie Jordan.
Do I know who that is? Leslie Jordan?
Leslie Jordan? You guys don't know who Leslie Jordan is?
I don't think so.
He was in Ski Patrol.
It's been a minute since I've patrolled. I'm more of a ski school guy, to tell you the truth. Dean Cameron represent.
God, you represent everything I hate, Chris. Like,
wait a minute. Shit the fucking bed. You're telling me you hate Dean Cameron, the king of
No, I don't hate Dean Cameron. I'm just saying,
better
how
not.
dare you choose Ski School over Ski Patrol? All right, that's
because
all
it's
I'm
got
saying.
fucking Dean Cameron, Patrick Laboratower, Stuart Bracken.
Ski Patrol has George Lopez and literally Paul Fig. Like, come on, it's amazing.
Twice the cocaine went into Ski School.
You also have Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell's in Ski Patrol?
No, am I getting confused with the ski?
You're thinking of Icebreaker, you piece of
No. He was in the ski movie too.
All right. So getting back to Big Trouble, and there's another pitch. There's another pitch in the live chat, which is a perfect break point. And again, comes from Gold's Code, who is the pitch master of the show. Mr. Sean Gold, thank you so much. We love you. His pitch: Jack Burton is an Uber driver who tells stories no one believes until a passenger realizes he's telling the truth and recruits him to stop an ancient evil.
Oh my gosh, an Uber driver. We didn't even think about that.
Bring that shit into today. I do like that. I will. Oh, and there's another one. Anthony Ramirez in the chat, the mashup man himself. Genius mashups from AW 9099. His pitch: Jack Burton versus the Army of Darkness. Fuck, that's so good. He's transporting crates.
I will say that I do want some. Chris, you're gonna hate me for this. I do want some claymation. Like,
I know you've had a boner for claymation lately. I don't know why.
Claymation
Go
is
watch
so
Gate 2. Forced Perspective.
I love it. At.
Go watch Gate 2 and tell me the claymation doesn't ruin the amazing Forced Perspective work that went.
No, Gate II is one of the best sequels ever.
And most of that shit's not claymation. Most of it's Forced Perspective. It's person in suit.
And
that's the shit that needs to come back. That shit works. They did it on Elf too. They do that all the time. Attack the 50-foot woman. Boom, Forced Perspective. Any rate, we're in the middle of Anthony Ramirez's pitch. Jack Burton versus the Army of Darkness. He's transporting crates, and one of them had the Necronomicon in it. The rest writes itself. Fuck me. That man is just genius. We are not worthy of you in the chat, sir.
I mean, it is kind of, you could have made Big Trouble in Little China as a Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell movie. You actually, I mean, it wouldn't be too out there in a weird way.
I'm just saying, you also, like, there's, the crossover potential is really high because you honestly really could, like, Dudikoff, you could drop him into this and it fucking works too. You could drop Dudikoff into this film and it's like, okay, I'm down. You could have dropped fucking Steve James and Dudikoff into this. David Bradley, Mark DeCascos. There's a lot of like martial artist adjacent dudes that you'd be like, all right, fuck yeah.
I mean, in a weird way, this actually could have been a canon movie with Chuck Norris, and it would have been taken seriously, which is the most interesting part.
I mean, thank God in a lot.
I know,
of ways, not
but
to disrespect Chuck Norris, but like he's not. Chuck Norris and Kurt Russell are two very different things, and like, you know, you can't just like swap these parts on. You can't put like a Chevy engine in a Ford movie.
But he did do Breaker. But he did do the classic Breaker. You've seen Breaker, right?
I think I may have missed that one.
It's a great truck driver karate movie.
Well, I mean,
probably the only truck driver karate movie, but it's
Chuck Norris is just like, he is a different kind of guy that, you know, he doesn't have the charm that fucking Kurt Russell has. He's not as fast talking. He's not as, you know, comedically sharp, you know, he's just a different brand of dude. I just feel like the movie couldn't be as, like, Chuck Norris would never allow himself to shoot the ceiling and get knocked out, you know.
That is fair.
I think you just keep it to the core guys. I mean, if you wanted to put anybody new in there, I don't know, you know, like you know.
No, you don't do this without Kurt Russell. You just don't. I'm just saying
you do it with Kim Cattrall too.
No.
What?
No.
What?
No. Listen.
What?
I get it.
Ooh,
I get where she was in the 80s. I get it. All right. I'm a Porky's fan. I get it. Mickey, I get it.
I don't think you do, because
the problem
you cite Porky's and you don't cite Mannequin, you don't cite Masquerade, you don't cite Police Academy.
First off, just calm down. All right. Calm down. But after Sex and the City, she's not Kim Cattrall anymore. She's a whole other beast. All right, she is a beast out in the forest doing other things.
Disagree, sir. She's not Kim Cattrall today. She made a really cool indie movie called Meet Monica Velour, that I think would disagree with what you just said.
Chris, you know what the other movie that I liked a lot too?
Oh yeah, Live Nude Girls with Olivia Dabo, little late '90s cable gem.
But let's also just say, you know, Kim Cattrall is like fine wine.
Oh, yeah. I will say, what a great
Mannequin too. I get
what a great
and there's
way
no
to
expiration
kick the plot
on
into action. Kim Cattrall is kidnapped yet again, and she puts out word that only Jack Burton can save her.
Remember the Chow Pin
if
guy.
She's in it for a
like
little bit. Fine.
Listen, Chow
little at
Pin.
the beginning, little at the end, maybe a scene or two along the way. Just remember she's in chains and dressed up in the
remember
garbs
this. Chow Pin was going to get these two girls as sacrifice. He wants these two girls.
Yeah.
I guess. I just
still out there.
I just want a whole new story. That's my problem.
Well, I agree.
Well, I mean, you get a new story, but like,
I will say one thing I'm grateful for, because there's a lot of ways this franchise could have gone. Like, I'm grateful that we didn't just get like Big Trouble in Little China, Big Trouble in Little Italy, Big Trouble in Little Jamaica, Big Trouble in Little, you know.
It becomes the Herbie of.
Hey man, what's
Big Trouble
doing
in
over
Las
there,
Vegas,
man?
Yeah, Big Trouble takes Manhattan, you know.
Damn it, that would have been great though.
Hey man,
if Jack Burton was in
how many jobs you got, man?
There's a mashup poster.
Only one job.
Kurt Russell like that in Manhattan, you know, freaking the monster thing on the two ceiling.
Big Trouble in Little China 2, Lost in New York.
In New York, you know.
You could have had Big Trouble.
He
in
was
Little
a
China
truck
2,
driver.
The Quickening, and you could have just had like some weird shit that fucking made no sense and threw everyone off.
That Jack Burton's an alien from a far off planet.
Yes, yeah. He was chosen one from an alien species on a planet made of light. And
I mean, like you said, you could. I mean, I won't see it. I mean, it's like a same story, different day. But I mean, I like that the first day, so why wouldn't I want to repeat that day? It was a good day.
As always, I think the best sequels. I mean, Ian, you say this all the time. First of all, you got to be able to have not seen the first movie. So that's crucial, and you got to think about that.
I do agree with that. If you're doing a sequel, it should be your audience comes in not having seen the first one,
and it still has to work.
It still has to work.
That's why that whole Rock thing. If he does another sequel to it, or if he does a remake. I mean, I don't want a remake.
No, because then I know it's gonna happen. Your idea is great, but I got The Rock as Jack Burton, and freaking Kevin Hart's gonna be the voice of the monster.
I feel like maybe Jack Burton is riding around with his beast.
Hey,
and they stop at a truck stop, and there's The Rock. And he remembers about family.
Can we have Chris Christopherson as his dad?
Yes, please. Oh God.
How cool would that be? Chris Christopherson is Jack Burton's dad.
What would his dad's name be? It has to be like, a Jack Burton sounding.
Dick Burton. Dick Burton.
Dick Burton, yes. Chris Christopherson is Dick Burton.
Dick Burton, come on.
Fuck, dude, I'd watch a whole spin-off just on him.
He's got his mullet, Chris Christopherson beard, badass, just
yeah. So then you have like Jack Burton. He's getting a little older or whatever like that, and he needs to find some new blood to take over the truck or whatever the case may be. And there's The Rock.
You're trying to this Rock thing.
I don't want it. No, I want my story.
Your idea is a rock in a hard place.
I want any way but loose, any which way loose. I want with the Beast and Jack Burton.
I honestly think
what is the sequel? What is the sequel to Any Which Way But Loose? What's
Any Which Way You Can?
Any Which Way You Can? No, I know that's the sequel.
Which is the one with Tony Danza?
What's the third one?
Oh, I don't. Is there a third one?
There's one with Tony. There's one with Tony Danza.
If there was, Any Which Way But Loose, Any Which Way You Can, Any Which Way It Goes. Like, I don't know.
I guess and Mickey, I know what you're talking about. And,
the Tony Danza.
You're wrong. That is a movie called Going Apes with Tony Danza.
Yeah.
And Danny DeVito. And
I love that one.
But it does have the orangutan from that movie.
Are you thinking? Was he thinking about the wrong movie? He's talking about the fucking Clint Eastwood movie all this time.
That's what he's thinking about.
I was talking about that.
But he's saying there was technically a third sequel, but it's called Going Apes. But it's with Tony Danza and Danny DeVito, who doesn't speak English. It's great.
Well, God damn it, I need that.
Mickey, we're friends again, buddy.
Only the classics. Only the classics.
That's right.
Only the fucking classics.
Going bananas. You heard it here, folks,
Bananas.
on VCR Redux.
It would be really funny if, with Chris Christopherson playing his dad, if his dad had the fucking eye patch, the Snake Plissken patch, you know?
Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, that would just, dude.
Right?
Can you have is Sam Elliott the same age as Kurt Russell?
Oh yeah, Sam Elliott could totally be Dick Burton.
Sam
too,
Elliott could be Dick
but
Burton.
I just like
There's
Chris
only two guys could do it. It's Sam
I just like
Elliott or
Chris
it's
Christopherson, you know?
Either
Chris
one would be
Christopherson,
great.
he's probably a little bit better because he's a little bit more frustrated, I think. Like Sam Elliott's a little too cool and calm. Whereas like Chris Christopherson's always like, I'm old, I'm tired. Like, give me a goddamn beer.
Yeah,
I
but
can
like,
say whatever I want to.
but Jack Burton would have had to learn his philosophies or like how he talks this and that from somebody. And I feel like Sam Elliott would be a better philosophizer.
You think so? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
I think
I mean, it
either way,
doesn't
they're
matter.
both great, you know. They're
It
both
doesn't
great.
matter. Either one would be great for me.
But I like that, meeting Jack Burton's dad, and you kind of have like Jack Burton in The Last Crusade.
Yes,
thing,
exactly.
you know,
That'll be amazing.
But
And
the
Beast-
crime
and the-
is that we skip it. We're skipping Temple of Doom, of course.
Hey, you kind of got it at the end, you know. Big Trouble in Little China is Temple of Doom. Like, let's be honest. Like,
yeah, I know it's true. Yeah, there are some shots where I want to be like Gully Ma Shukti Day.
And
the
the Beast,
whole, yeah.
the Beast tells like, Chris Christopherson about the fact, get this guy like leaves his chick behind, this hot lawyer chick, to ride around with me all this time.
I love how it's Beauty and the now it's a love story. It's Beauty and the Beast. You know.
Now it's becoming a romance.
Yeah,
I love it.
I want to Photoshop Kurt Russell's face onto one of those Fabio romance covers now.
Oh my God, you got to put Beauty and the Beast mashup with Kurt Russell and the Beast.
Yeah, exactly. Oh shit, that would be gold. That would be fucking gold. Yeah, no, I mean, I honestly, I think that's probably the best take there is. You know, in terms of like where to jump off of. You know, your jumping
and it's
off point.
like I said, the what the subplot is, you know, I mean, it could be anything, you know, ancient Chinese art or a relic or something. I mean, you could have it as long as the foundation is there. I mean, as long if you got Kurt Russell and John Carpenter back, who cares? You know,
dude,
like
you got Christopherson or Sam Elliott as his dad.
Yeah,
and
like,
you know, holy shit.
Like Beast, trucks, blood. Give me and kung fu. Like, give me all of it. If you give me that, I'm game. You know.
And I'm sure they'll get some truck stop pizza along the way.
That's right.
The next one, I mean, the next
right over there, baby.
The next one could be a road movie if you think about it. You know, Big Trouble from Little China. It's something that all these guys are carrying. They're taking from there to somewhere else, and like his dad's a trucker too, and they're all part of this convoy.
Oh man, what if you had a Mad Max kind of like a Road Warrior kind of battle though?
Could be fucking sweet.
That would be great, right? Get Jack Burton in a semi truck having to haul something, and it's all these other truckers or. Okay, all right. So whatever the
jumping from truck to truck,
it'd be like
fighting a beast on
Ice
the roof
Road
of a
truckers.
flat top. Yeah.
Whatever happens, these truck drivers get zombified. Like they get light in their eyes, and they're like zombie truckers.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
It
And
zaps through their CBs.
That's right, and it gets them. And they're all of a sudden they're driving down the road, and it's freaking just zombie truck drivers, right? Guys that look like me, but are like, you know, like just jumping over Jack Burton in the freaking truck, you know. And he's got an Uzi. He's got an Uzi again, and at one point he rips off the flannel, and it's still that awesome tank.
Tank top.
He's got the tank top. He's got with the, you know,
and
you gotta have
boots. He's got those
boots.
like, which were so
I just
weird.
need a scene where Jack Burton is like at a highway rest stop, and he's just like trying to take a shit or something, and there's just like a guy banging on the door, and this is how he finds out there's zombie truck drivers. He's like, hold on here, like I'm pinching a big one, like, you know, like God damn it, like
Like Rob Zombie's Halloween.
Yeah, no, but like it's played for laughs. You know, then the guy fucking bursts in the door, and you know he has to fucking fight the guy. His pants are around his ankles. He's falling all over the place.
Every time I go to the bathroom, it's got to be somebody doing this shit. I'm too old for this. Yeah.
I mean, I almost feel like I feel like Wang could like hire him again. Remember, in the first one, Jack Burton was hired. Triple or nothing. He got all that money in this and that. So Wang,
he's an Uber. We take Gold Skull say he's an Uber driver who gets recalled to be a truck driver because what's happening now is all these truck drivers are they're not showing up. It's the work shortage, right? That's happening now. And so for a sign-up bonus, Jack Burton.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So then he gets the truck, and then he's like, Beast Boy is in his crib, and he's like, "Yo, Beast, we got to hit the road." So that's where the Beast gets in the truck.
They're like starts getting hostile, like they get in the car. Like
no, it's literally
it's like hot and chewy.
You literally just did BJ and the Bear, but better. Like it's you guys know BJ and the Bear, right?
Of course.
It's a semi truck driver and his monkey. Like it's the best thing ever.
We're long due for like a buddy cop, buddy movie with a beast or a orangutan and a person. Like we haven't had that in a long time. And I'm telling you, in 2022, if I saw a movie trailer with a dude driving a truck and a freaking monkey or orangutan as a passenger, and then he's talking to him, my ass would be in the theater tomorrow.
I tell you what, if you told me we are doing 8 different projects and it's Big Trouble and Little Multiverse and there's all kinds of shit, there's a Netflix series, there's 3 movies, there's a comic book and a TV show and a video game, I would be here for fucking all of it. And especially if one of those would somehow combine Big Trouble in Little China and The Golden Child, it would just be amazing. It would be the best. It would be like
Showdown in Little Tokyo.
And and it would be like 1986 hand delivered back to you in the form of a Sega Master System. It couldn't be more perfect. I couldn't imagine anything that would make me more complete as a man.
I'm eating it. I'm eating it up.
But what's the last Jack Burton line when he's got that gun on whatever the villain is? What's that last Jack Burton line?
Sometimes you never can tell.
Yep.
I think that's just who he is, I think it's either that or it's got to be Kim Cattrall. Like, do I finally get that kiss now?
Oh,
and then he goes, and then he stops and he goes, "Where do you want it?" Boom. No, okay, fine.
Yeah,
that's the porn version. That's the Dirk Diggler.
I literally heard that as soon as you said that.
The Beast rolls up in an RV because he bought an RV. And
then cue Starship, and we can build this world together.
Only if the Beast goes, yo.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
John Hughes film, though.
I'm just saying, I wouldn't mind the mannequin ending, the super happy ending.
You got me.
No, you guys you're forgetting the whole subplot.
I wish I had money
to be there.
I wish I had that money.
There's a female Beast. Come
on.
Oh,
yeah. You got to find a female Beast.
Yeah, you could do that.
There's a female Beast or a 2020 another Beast. Whatever, who cares?
She's got to be wearing like a dress somehow or something red so you can have Lady in Red play. And the Beast is just like staring at her.
Beast in red.
like the wedding wardrobes that they had when they were gonna get married.
Hairy, nasty thing in red. Da, 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 da.
Oh shit. Well, I think we have pitched this just about every which way we can, but I would be remiss if I didn't shout out. I would be remiss if I didn't shout out Angie Saunders in the chat, another mashup genius in herself. Says she came late, but we're glad you tuned in nonetheless. And Anthony Ramirez again for saying Jack Burton's true sequel is Captain Ron, which goddamn, I love Captain Ron. That is one. If you want us to do a VCR on Captain Ron, let us know in the comment section, not the live chat, comment section.
Not gorillas.
Oh,
gorillas.
The great Martin Short. But before we wrap it up, is there anything coming up on B Movie Beatdown you want to let the people know about, Mike?
September 18th, Cave Girl. Daniel Roebuck's looking forward to it, and I know I'm looking forward to seeing his The Munsters. I mean, I'm gonna see it out of support for our friendship, mine and his. So, but September 18th is live. It's gonna be live 9:00 Eastern Standard. Me and him. We're not gonna be in the same room. It's gonna be over Zoom and everything. I tried to have him fly out, but it's gonna be great. Awesome. And there's gonna be a giveaway. He's gonna sign a little mini poster and pick a winner at the end.
Oh. Nice. Well, that man is a national treasure, and I'm gonna tune in and try and win that. And so are you, sir. And thank you again for coming on, and come back as always. Mickey, anything in Rick Barth in the Line Land?
Nothing just yet. I'll be going in a couple weeks to lay down the guitar tracks.
Well, we look forward to hearing some of them. Ian, anything coming up with Anybody's Blues, hitting any new festivals or anything?
We're submitting it, getting it out there. Do tune into Chris and I just had a great show the other night with the producer of Pennywise, the story of It, the miniseries with Mike Perez. That's on our YouTube channel here at Fandom Spotlight. Great interview, great stories. Check out that documentary and support those guys. They're making some really great stuff, including a RoboCop documentary that's coming out here soon.
Oh, my heart beats for RoboDoc, and I just can't wait.
What a great title too, RoboDoc.
Oh, brilliant title, absolutely. Well, you Fandom fans might want to come back next Wednesday at 9 p.m. and we turn Sub-Zero into Plane Zero for our Running Man 2 episode.
I thought it was going to be Mortal Kombat. I was like, I don't want to do that, but
we already did that.
We did Mortal Kombat.
I'm there for Running Man. Oh my gosh.
Yes. As always, if there's a particular movie or TV franchise that you want us to cover, let us know in the comment section below. And since you're already doing that, you might as well go ahead and like, subscribe, and follow Fandom Spotlight, Howl 9 Network, and Pop Culture Punk. Till then, back up those Betamax, rewind those Laserdiscs, and we'll see you at the movies.
Take care, everybody.